And welcome everyone to our second session on September 25th, where we have the very affable Travis Perry coming to bring in one of his three different races, which he goes into depth with. And we are looking forward to whatever he and they have to tell us and the question and answers afterwards. Anything you would like to add, Mr. Travis?
uh, yeah. Okay. Um. Wait. What the thing? Oh.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Well, let me just mention who I'm channeling.
If you know.
Oh, relatively. Akasa is going to be assisted by Tasha today, so it's going to be a co-creation, but yet it's going to be it's going to be more inherently focused on Akasa today at this moment.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Greetings, Earth humans. Sensing different frequencies today, and for the time being, the idea of looking within yourself and also opening up yourself more to contact with yourself as well as the environment, other beings, while also a maintaining a strong connection with the very spirit that you all are. And talking about the communication between our civilization and yours will continue even physically upon your planet. So we are willing to share stuff. There will also be translation to universal, as I'm defined as a universal translator, so I'll be assisting with understanding different languages as well. So we will love to interact with you, speak with you more readily and more closely to you, as there is still a more deeper preparation going on between us and you, using this as a more energetic alignment, energetically aligning the channel's frequency as well as energetically aligning your frequency to us, so you can have a comfortable experience when open contact begins. So this was not much of a planned message, for it was more of a intermediary message, for the message will also accompany through the Q&A that you all will give through your loving hearts. You may open to questions and answers.
Thank you very much, Akasha. I really appreciate that. Um, can you tell us anything about the energies or energy cycles which Earth is experiencing now and through open contact? Because we're all feeling them, but I'm just looking for some clarity or some additional detail, please. Thank you.
Being an adjustment done to your magnetic field as well as a stabilization to the inner matrices fields of consciousness that encompasses your planet to adjust it to the right level so it'll be open enough when we come. So, is that what you were looking for?
That was pretty detailed. Yes. Are some of these new energies that have been implemented to assist in the ascension and not just the normal earthly cycles, we will say?
There's encompassing all of your reality, not just one part.
Thank you. Christina Anna?
Thank you. Greetings.
Very well. Greetings to you as well.
Thank you. Um, we are told, and it makes sense that our planet needs a lot of restructuring with like our political systems and financial and so on. And I was wondering, are we to expect that these will be completely changed by the time we have face-to-face contact, or will this happen like parallel?
It'll be a process for we will be sharing stuff more directly to you when we physically come down. So it'll be that process, a part of your 30-year reset, which will be going to 2050. So it'll be part of that process of change that will happen. So not every country is gonna automatically accept us automatically. It'll be like a slow process. Well, also we'll be sharing technological advancements and stuff like that. But some countries might, but some will accept us quicker than others.
I see, thank you. Yes, I believe Bashar has also spoken about this.
Yes, we're just clarifying based on the information that is given to you at this moment. At as he's already been sharing more closely with the idea of open contact with you, and some of the information is just a repeat of what he's been giving.
That's fine. Thank you very much.
And thank you for that. Will, after open contact, can you tell us what role the moon will play for humanity? I know it's kind of been ignored because we're all looking at extraterrestrial races, but they're on the moon already. So anything you can add about that, please?
Well, our the ship that is the mothership, or the craft that is the very large craft that's the company on the other side of the moon, of what you would call the dark side of the moon, is right above there, and it's also assisting with certain frequencies as anything that comes in your solar system, and we're adjusting certain ideas of the moon as well as the bases that are on the moon. So there's that.
Okay, so that will humans be part of those what we consider alien bases on the moon?
Yes, you
Okay,
will.
cool. As
You
well
will
as
once you have decided, once you're ready for come directly to the moon.
So, and once we can handle the direct energy interface with the various beings.
Yes, for there are multiple beings, some not so human looking on the moon.
Excellent. Jennifer, please.
Yes, hello. Thank you for the co-creation. I have a question about you mentioned countries and governments. How important is certain governments' disclosure attempts or certain members of government, specifically the United States? How important is uh, like disclosure acts and things like that when it comes to open contact? It's my understanding that you don't need them to have any type of disclosure. Is that correct?
Depending on, we don't need them specifically, no, but technically, this is technically depending on personal disclosure, we will show up even nonetheless. Depending on whether whether the major governments have decided to accept that idea of disclosure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm liking these answers. Thank you very much, Akasha. Are there, I'm curious, when I think about humans living on those bases on the moon, I'm assuming that there will be special environments that will accommodate all different races?
Yes, but there's also many different bases on the moon. But yes.
Ah. And I know Bashar just mentioned the Pleiadian base under Mount Shasta recently.
Yes, and my brother Eric mentioned that he was above Mount Shasta before.
Yes.
So it was a coincidence that the channel found out that there was a base under the mountain, and this was after he knew about Eric above Mount Shasta.
Excellent.
So there's no coincidences.
No, I'm just looking forward to my own personal contact event and all of the exciting things which are going to lead up to it. And thank you for being part of that too, Akasha, and your brother Eric.
Mm.
Jennifer?
Yes, hello again. I was curious about whether or not you had to wait for any specific type of environments here on Earth. Like, did you have to adapt to like certain environments here on Earth, or is now like is everything like allowing you to come and make open contact now?
Adapt to different environments. We've not readily shared this, but we have our bodies, our physiology is evolved to be able to is evolved to the point where our bodies can do an automatic adapting to the environments of different worlds and different gravities and environments.
Did anything about um, the Earth's atmosphere have to change to accommodate that?
No, for there's also so much of a similarity, and to Earth's atmosphere, there is a similarity to planets that we have been to before.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Excellent. And I know that the hybrid children are quasi-physical in ways, and their physical forms will be kind of set once they become earthbound, for their missions or roles.
Well, that's only to do with the fact that they have your genetics with them, so they already have a set physical form.
Okay. It was my understanding that it's not totally physical and they have some flexibility, we will say, in their form.
That's only to do with certain aspects of them because they can do what you can't do at the moment.
Correct.
So it's not entirely non-physical. They actually do. There's actually different variations and frequencies of those hybrid children that you have noticed.
Yes.
So you will have in retrospect, the hybrid children come in different forms.
Yes.
So you can't categorize them in one area.
No, and they have to be able to handle the energies of many other beings as well because they're in telepathic connection with multitudes, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And good night, Arla. And Jennifer, your turn.
Yes, this is a question about the hybrid children. Is it possible for a human to be aware on whether or not their DNA was used for a hybrid child? Will they know? Will they recognize their child?
Everything will be revealed upon disclosure and open contact. So even if you don't know at the moment, depending on when the time's right, you will know.
Okay, thank you.
This is wonderful, Akasha. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Do you have any specific messages for any individuals in our group?
The fact that we are not the fact that we are contacting you on multitude of levels is already the message as if entirely you being here is also part of the message and you interacting with us is also part of it.
And part of our highest excitement too. Um, can you add anything to what the future Pleiadians gave us earlier this today or tonight about the widening cracks of all of the structures on Earth and
The
basically
evolution
crumbling?
of different structures on Earth for the cracks up to widen or for certain things to crumble away so it can readily make way for new structures that we will be sharing with you during open contact.
Excellent. Was there any part of their presentation that you can add something to, if that's something I can ask?
Part of their presentation, I can add something too. Well, I wonder if the channel was even paying attention. I mean, he paid attention to a lot of it, but he was processing something so he can get ready for when it's his turn.
Ah,
But we have shared the fact that there are certain aspects that are being worked on your planet that you are not aware of right now, and it's not time to be aware of yet.
is it, can you say something about some of the structures that are being built on Earth which are out of phase with our frequency, so we will not be aware of them until, like, for instance, like new bases or things of that nature?
It's part of a phase shifting reality thing to where you can where you have to be at a certain particular frequency and be able to phase shift into that base. So it's a phase shifting technology that allows the base to stay still in another reality.
Do the Sasquatch visit those alien bases on a regular basis?
There have been times where they have phased into those bases, yes.
Okay. I was just curious. I'm just trying to piece together in my mind how the relationships work, but I know it all just flows. And I just find that so fantastic. It's because our reality is not like that. So it's really hard to get out of this one and imagine that one.
Mm.
Wonderful. I had another question, but I lost it. I'll find it. It's around here somewhere. And thank you for um, helping Travis as well. For he has been improving so steadily, and it's been wonderful to see. And I know you have been part of that and working with him in the behind the scenes, we will say.
Yeah, even if the channel is not aware of our reality, that it's not time for us to be revealed at this time.
Mhm. We respect that. Thank you. I'm curious about the beings who are just observing.
Observing?
Yeah, just observing Earth. I mean, I know by observing they are committing energy and they are interacting. It's not like, you can just see anything or sense anything without having some sort of interaction with it. That's just a fallacy for our world. But I'm I'm just curious about those because I get the impression that there are so many that it would boggle my mind. It boggles my mind just thinking about that, that are just giving us energetic support but don't have any direct consciousness involved in this realm. Does that make sense?
Any direct consciousness involved in this room?
No, they've never been physical before, but they're still willing to send us love or some guidance or something like that to help nurture us along.
Please.
Rephrase? I think his video froze. We missed what you said there, Akasha.
I didn't
Oh,
specify. I need the question to be repeated.
thank you. Now I forgot what the question was because I was
Huh.
It was about the beings observing us from
Yes,
outside.
I'm curious about the beings who have never been physical but still lend support to uh, our physical realm.
It's an energetic support through spirit as well as other aspects, because you hear that Bashar mentioned that you have a spirit team of angelic spirit guides, extraterrestrials, extra dimensionals, all sorts of members of your team.
Excellent.
So in retrospect, there's just an energetic connection through spirit. They also connect with you through dreams. So basically, there's only subtle synchronicities, frequencies, other types of aspects that connect them directly to you as they are interacting with you through a realm where there is no limitation to that.
Cool. That's neat. And thank you for that. So there are alliances and groupings of different, what we would determine dimensional entities or energies, which are flowing together to assist in this overall mission of open contact.
Yes, everyone is assisting at this time. Everyone, especially spirit, everyone's assisting at this time.
You gotta love a party where everybody's invited. Thank you, Akasha. Jennifer, your turn.
Yes, you mentioned the angelic realm. I'm not quite sure how to phrase this question, but was the angelic, was our earthly understanding of the angelic realm kind of hijacked by certain belief systems here on Earth?
It was filtered through belief systems and interactions with extraterrestrials in the past.
Um, I channel and speak with a being named Bex from Andromeda, and he mentioned that there were certain like experiences that had happened here on Earth where people believed they saw an angel when it was actually an extraterrestrial, and vice versa. Could you speak on that?
Well, angels are not full on physical when there's certain things, aspects, because our energy can be radiant. For your vibrations back then were much lower than they are now. So in retrospect, seeing one of us back then, you would have seen us like more of a glowing, angelic style light that you hear about. You wouldn't be able to see us full on physically as you would a normal person.
Wow, thank you. That really clears a lot up for me. Thank you.
Yeah, that's very
Oh, I'm
interesting.
sorry. Can I add one thing? You mentioned the way that they were appeared back then. Does that mean that the way people are experiencing that realm is changing?
Yes, everything changes over time. If it wasn't changing, there would be. If it wasn't changing, why would we be communicating with you at this time?
Very true. Thank you.
And that makes a lot of sense because people would just see the glow because that's all their senses would allow them to see because they didn't have that discernment of those different energies or even know about them. It wasn't part of their conscious awareness.
Mm-hmm.
So,
We're well aware of these different frequencies on your planet. For you're reaching a time where open contact will be able to appear more tangible and you'll be able to see us without experiencing that intense glow.
excellent. And I know since you're telepathic beings that you're all in contact all the time, but will you be exhibiting human niceties like waving hello and goodbye and that kind of stuff to appease humans and help integrate more peacefully, I will say, in our society?
Yes, we will also be doing handshakes, hugs, and stuff like that. Why?
Sweet. Well, we know the hybrid children are all about the high fives, so
Yeah, there will be all sorts of stuff because there's still that need for physical interaction at the moment, as open content will encompass everything, not just energetic, but physically. So everything you can imagine will in some way happen, in, including all that physical interactions with us.
that's very exciting. And I'm curious about the hybrid children always, but are like I know our human senses are not evenly spaced around our bodies. Most of them are centered in the head where they can have direct contact with brain functions, and some, like touch, are spread throughout our organ of skin. And even then, our fingertips and our feet and our hands and our lips have greater sensitivity than other parts of our body. Do the hybrid children have other things like that besides a genius IQ and the ability to hold multiple conversations at the same time and sense vibrations? And I'm curious about the differences in the biology, I guess.
Yeah, there's differences for many extraterrestrial races actually can experience the entirety of your very physical being through touch, through sensation, for their skin has more heightened receptors than you normally have on your planet.
Excellent. Is it commonplace that, say, for instance, if they do come into contact with us, that they will be able to access or download our life history information if we're willing to provide it?
Yes, for it always will be done with consent, and yes, it can be done.
Okay. One touch does it all.
Yeah, kind of like sharing memories through the mind meld in a way.
Excellent.
If you think that the little Star Trek thing is interesting, some of it is based on reality.
Well, now, and that brings up a point. Can you give us some of the input that the extraterrestrials might have given to Gene Roddenberry about Star Trek? Now, we know it manifested in a lot of the things in the Jetsons too. They had a lot of the technology that we have now. But I'm curious as to what beings were involved in getting those ideas brought to the forefront. Obviously, it was part of open contact.
Well, there were a lot. Well, based on that, there were specific humanoid beings, but he was connecting directly to a cosmic source that allows him to pull from different things. And it seems he has, over time, the series has evolved to feature more non-human races. So the human-looking races was actually in company. Well, the technology, there is a food synthesizer in that where actually we do have one of those.
Is that just for your food? Or can we dip into a sundae when we want to?
It will be shared with you when the time is right.
Excellent.
For remember, if when we come, it will be featuring. We will be helping with different parts of your society.
Wonderful. And we will also be terraforming the oceans and that kind of stuff to produce food for the various races which will be living amongst us as well, correct?
Yes. Don't also think of it as not just the hybrids, but also our civilization as well. The Pleiadians slash Sageddans. There will be different forms of Pleiadian races, for there are many races other than us that look similar to you.
And that's why they're coming to meet us. We're relatives.
Yes, the Pleiadian. We're just the Tygeddans are just one subspecies of Pleiadians.
Can you tell us about some of the other ones? Because I'm
There's ones from Alcyon, which actually have some of them. Some races actually have more pointed ears in a way, more elven features.
neat. Anything
Now, I
else?
have
And
a
there's been different interactions. Yeah.
I have a question, Ray.
Jump right in.
So, how does intimacy take place in the fourth dimension?
Intimacy?
Yes. Is there such a thing as sexuality in the fourth dimension? And if so,
Yes.
how's it expressed?
It's expressed through a more of an energetic stimulation of the entire body, for we feel it more. We don't just feel it through physical touch, we feel it through all aspects of our entire energetic field.
So, for instance, in the fourth dimension, if I touch somebody, is that equivalent to what you're talking about?
Yes, as it says, our senses are heightened.
So, what what part does sexuality play in our lives, in that reality?
Well, more evolved would be more sensing. It means you won't just feel it on the physical level, you'll feel it through every aspect, even the energetic body, even a heightened sensation that is the reverberated throughout creation.
Well, that's exciting. Okay, thank you very much.
And that brought up a question for me, since the last 2 or 2.5 generations have activated telepathy already in their DNA, if that is part of their plan and makeup and the overall plan. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious if the sexual stimulation will fade so much from being dependent on physicality and become more of a mental activity for humans.
That will happen over time, for you're still very, very physical. So you still need that physical aspect. It's just before it fades away, it's going to evolve.
So you're
You're
talking hundreds of years?
maybe 1,000.
Oh, okay. I can wait.
Yes, for it might be an evolutionary process that will take a some time in your aspect. For there's been describing that it could before you reach quasi physical, you could reach that in like 1,000 years fully.
Wow.
So in retrospect, that might be more of the time where you experience more of the non physical aspects of reproduction rather than the physical aspects of it. But it will evolve to a point where you will feel every single aspect of yourself will feel it.
That's wonderful. And not that I want to change anything about being physical now, because I came here to enjoy this, and damn it, I'm going to. But I'm just curious for that going forward, because right now I believe it's a lot of it is a mental aspect anyway.
Yes.
And if it's not, then
Well, the mental
it's exercise.
mental is creating your physical reality, for your brain also has those sensations that connect throughout the every aspect of your nervous system.
Do trees view reproduction as sex?
Well, trees are like antennas connected to plants, so in a way one tree feels the other tree what other trees feel.
Excellent. And it's been in my experience that some of the trees are story keepers and keep the stories of all of the trees, even the ones who are no longer physically visible.
Well, that's because all trees are connected, so everything has the same.
Oh,
The planet, all trees on the planet are connected to the Earth.
that's connection enough. Thanks for that reminder.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge network.
Yeah.
I know that the number of ships which are going to are becoming more visible, and the frequency will increase as we get closer to open contact and disclosure. And I'm assuming that those are used as a great tool to get governments to come to the table about disclosure.
Yeah, but it also takes a little action and a little push in order to get them to disclose things, because without that push, there's no way they're just gonna shrug it off.
Yes. And I know I believe it was Bashar had mentioned that in another timeline, President John Kennedy released evidence of UFO contact in 1968 because in that reality he was not killed. And it caused massive world panic. And so they had to switch to another particular timeline if they wanted to have that. Can you?
Yes, the timelines were shift. Doesn't mean that timeline doesn't exist. It still exists. It's just the shift of focus was onto another timeline.
Yes. I just wanted to make sure that I remembered that correct because we have no idea of all of the other timelines and the other us that exist.
Well, there are timelines where the Earth is uninhabitable at the moment.
I'm just glad that well, that's
But that's not the timeline you're on. We're just giving you an example. There
yeah.
are both positive and negative timelines. There are timelines where you've already achieved open contact and world peace.
I'm looking forward to that myself. Even if it's already happened. I can do
Well,
that because
yes,
I'm in
you
this
may not you may not know this, but we gave you this so you can create the experience for yourself.
and I'm sure you're good with what the Pleiadians recommended by celebrating everything now because it's already happened.
Well, that wasn't that already implied in what I just said?
Yes, it was. Thank you. I don't see anyone else with a question right now, Akasha. Do you have anything else that you can add for us or for Travis, perhaps? Or maybe even for Corey, who is wetting
Yes.
his whistle
Well,
on his channeling path?
well, we'll just give it a message to everyone, as in remain, as in order to experience the reality you prefer, remain open, and if you want to experience contact, remain open to the idea. Remain in a positive state and accept every aspect of you, including the negative as well as the positive. So accept everything of you and know that our introduction and arrival is inevitable.
Excellent. Thank you, Akasha. Appreciate you and your time and your mission, and Travis too.
Okay, that was my eyes were a little. I don't know. I was relaxed throughout the entire session. It's like
It was really nice.
that was actually, I can hear everything going on in the background, and I can hear that and all I know is that it was very informative. I guess that's what I get for. I guess that's the experience of being a conscious channel, is that I can
Mhm.
hear everything on the background.
Yep, I can too, but remembering it after that is something completely different.
I only remember bits and pieces, but all I know is that it was very informative. I remember like a lot of information came through.
And personally, that's kind of why I like to have the discussions afterwards, because people will say things and it'll be like, "Oh, that's what we talked about? Oh, that's cool. I can't wait to listen."
Well, I'm glad this is now. I'm kind of glad that this is recorded because this is the most informative session I've ever heard so far.
So far. The
So,
next one,
I,
until the
well,
next one.
yeah, I know. And some of the information was given from Tasha about the hybrid children.
Oh, hey,
Yeah,
we
Tasha
like
was
a tag team.
as you remember, I said Tasha was assisting her.
Yes, you did. We have it on video.
Yes, she was. Yes, Akasa was the main lead while Tasha was feeding her information that she needed, especially since we know that there was going to be questions about hybrid children.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
This group is all about that.
I wonder why.
uh, Tasha's definitely going to prepare me to be able to channel a hybrid child in the near future, but that hasn't happened full on yet.
Excellent. That's good news. Thanks for sharing, Travis.
Yeah, well, I mean, I mentioned that before. It's just
Yep,
it never happened.
you have.
Yeah, I mentioned it before.
And-
Technically there were was a previous plan, but then I backed out of that one.
Oh,
That
another
was one of the sessions I backed out of.
another timeline.
Yeah, another timeline I went to that session and did a hybrid child channeling.
And well,
Then this timeline I will definitely do it when there is another one.
excellent. And you can also find more information on the hybrid children on the YouTube channel or Facebook page, Channeling Hybrid Children, starring yours truly. And be sure to register for the Zoom Bridging Worlds 3. It's a hybrid children party on October 12th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
And Cora's birthday is coming up.
Well, that's not exactly why we're having that event, but we'll
No,
pass a
no,
good
that's
notice
not
anyway.
that. Actually, I think it's close to Corey's sister's birthday, but no, I didn't say that. I'm just saying is that Corey's birthday's in October.
And if they have a registration link for Corey's sister's birthday, you can go ahead and post that too if you want, Travis.
Corey?
But there is one on the Facebook page for the hybrid children bridging worlds. It's a party special.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great thing. Yeah, that's gonna be a great thing, and I definitely will probably most likely register for that because it seems exciting.
Yes, and the hybrid children are going to do a promo for it. We wanted to work that out today.
Well, you
Didn't have time.
technically you asked for details about biology and you got a
Yes,
more heightened sensation of what their biology is like, or at least what their skin touch is like.
yes, and I can ask them too, and they will be happy to share. I mean, that's what they do. But yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate that
but
information.
as I know, most ETs have a heightened sensation on their skins. They can feel more than we can.
Yeah, I'm.
Yeah, that's difficult to imagine at the moment, but
No, it's not.
it's but well, technically no. If it was, I wouldn't be saying it right now.
Yeah, it's
But but all I just know is that based on the information, it actually makes a lot of sense if you think about it.
yeah, because I mean, they can discern different types of radiation on their skin. Not to
Well,
mention differences in frequencies and pressures of other energies. I
well,
mean,
that's probably why they evolved to having that ability to be able to adapt to different environments.
mhm. Well, and they have to know how to adjust themselves for their environments
Well, they
because
do have technology to do that as well.
well, yeah,
to-
but if you think about it, the humans are not adjusting to them. They are all adjusting to us. We're helping ourselves to get to that point where we can actually have that middle ground and interact.
It's what
But
Bashar says, meeting them halfway.
Mhm.
Meeting them halfway is what Bashar says. So basically, we have to meet them halfway, and they create that balance point that allows us to have that interaction.
But they have the ability to dampen their energetic emanations so they can interact.
Well, they have an ability to block off to block off pieces of their energy, so we only experience the level we're at.
Yep. Like a lot, I mean, that's what Bashar said. At most, Daryl takes 15% of his energy. And before he could only take like 7 or 8, and then he moved up to 10, and now
Well,
15 is about
technically, I remember in the session that in the first contact mode documentary, he said that he was able to change that most he was channeling 5% of Bashar's total energy because Sasani energy is much greater than most ETs.
yes. But he's upgraded since then. And Eric, I
Yeah,
believe
well,
Eric
I'm
said
sure
that
he
about
has,
you.
but what?
Eric said that about you, I believe, that you were only getting a fraction of the energy that
I
what that he
believe
has.
Yeah, well, I believe Akasa or one of them did mention to me, and I didn't share this, but 15%. I was channeling 15% of her total energy in a sensation.
Cool. And it's only
So it
gonna
was
get
it was sketching up there for they were much easier to handle than than other ETs. I have connected with different ETs, and some are easier to handle than others.
you can say that again.
I mean, I channeled a Sasani, and that I channeled a Sasani before. That is definitely much easier when it comes to these Palladian style energies. And since they classify themselves as Taigen and mentioned that there are different races that actually have similarities to them, since they're just one subspecies.
Yep. And Altheon was the other one, the beings with
Alcyon. If you heard of it's one of the stars in the Pleiades star cluster. Alcyon.
okay, you said they mentioned that there are beings with pointy ears there.
Well, no, I don't think she mentioned there because she was talking about there's different star systems.
Hmm.
There's some Pleiadians have darker skin, like more like a darker skinned human.
It takes all kinds.
Yes, well, as I said, subspecies,
Hmm.
mixture, evolution.
And well done again, Travis, for another wonderful evening on High Vibe Channeling.
Also, you were
Thank
talking about the hand thing. I have been doing this, and I looked at this hand signal sign up. Apparently, that was a preacher's hand, and I was wondering how that came through in my channeling before, because I got that from my channeling.
I I didn't notice.
No, I was doing the two things in the combination of the through
Oh,
this.
that you had a mudra going, huh?
Yeah, so this hand signal is was like a she defines it as unification, uh, contact, other similar signs. So yes, they do plan on sharing hand signs with us depending on what we need at the moment.
Well, I mean, I was given lots of permission slips on how to call the beings in, and they were all related some way to my hand, other than the beings who said that I would know them because they pressed down on my shoulders.
Also, Akasa likes that name you said, Akasha, because technically technically her name is Akasa, but it's based on the Akashic records, as in universal record of everything that exists. And she's a universal translator, so there's no coincidence in that.
Well, cool, because I want to call people what they would like to be called. So
Well,
thank you.
no, she just appreciates that because it's close to Akashic, which is what her name is originally is based on.
Yeah, we're going to have you write down all the specifics and job titles of all of the people, all of the beings you channel, so we can keep them straight.
Yeah, actually, I'm thinking about doing that because
Please.
there's yeah, I'm thinking about I gotta have probably because I use AI art to create representations of them because it's easy for me and I doesn't it's easier to capture different aspects of them. All I just do is describe what they look like, and then I use that and create descriptions. That's why you see AI art on my Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, so I do, and then I do give descriptions. I'm planning on using artwork, like giving an autobiography in a way.
Excellent. And I'm going to wrap up the recording session of this particular exciting group. And thank you all for attending and for watching. And we're going to continue with our discussion and come again next time if you wish to be part of it. Thank you.